In 1872, an English gentleman made a bet that he could travel around the world in just 80 days, and today, you will learn the vocabulary to tell this incredible story yourself. Hello and welcome. Today we have a story for intermediate learners. I will speak in slow and clear English so you can understand everything. Our video has a special structure to help you learn. First, you will hear the complete story of Around the World in 80 Days. Second, we will review the main parts of the story with English and Spanish text on the screen. Then, we will learn some key vocabulary and a useful expression from the story. Finally, I will ask you some questions to check your understanding. Are you ready? Let's begin. Our story begins in London with Phileas Fogg, a very rich and mysterious English gentleman. Mr. Fogg lived a life of extreme precision. He did the same thing at the same time every single day. His days were perfectly planned, from the temperature of his shaving water to the exact minute he arrived at his private social club, the Reform Club. He had just hired a new French valet, a man named Jean Passepartout, who was looking for a quiet and predictable life after many adventures. One day at the Reform Club, Fogg and his friends were discussing a recent bank robbery. The conversation then turned to a newspaper article which claimed that, thanks to new railways and steamships, it was now possible to travel around the world in just 80 days. His friends said it was impossible. But Phileas Fogg, a man of logic and numbers, disagreed. He calmly said, "I will bet £20,000 that I can make the tour of the world in 80 days or less." This was half of his entire fortune. The bet was accepted, and Fogg declared he would leave that very evening. Fogg went home, told the shocked Passepartout to pack a small bag, and they left for the train station immediately. They were to return to London by 8:45 p.m. on December 21st. However, there was a problem they didn't know about. A detective from Scotland Yard, named Fix, believed that Phileas Fogg was the bank robber. Because Fogg left London in such a hurry with a large amount of money, Fix thought he was escaping. Fix decided to follow Fogg around the world, waiting for an arrest warrant to arrive from London. Their journey took them through Europe to Suez, and then to India. In India, they discovered that a section of the railway was not finished. Unfazed, Fogg bought an elephant to continue their journey. Along the way, they encountered a shocking local custom: a young, beautiful woman named Aouda was going to be sacrificed. Fogg, though focused on his schedule, felt he had to save her. In a brave and clever rescue, Passepartout disguised himself and saved Aouda from the flames. She was incredibly grateful and, having nowhere else to go, decided to travel with them. The group, now with Aouda, continued their journey across Asia. They faced many obstacles. In Hong Kong, Detective Fix, still trying to delay Fogg, managed to get Passepartout drunk and separated from his master. But Fogg, with his calm determination, found another ship and even found Passepartout again in Japan. Through typhoons at sea and missed connections, Fogg used his money and intelligence to find creative solutions, like buying his own ship or bribing sailors. He never lost his composure, but the delays were costing him precious time and money. After crossing the Pacific, they arrived in America. They boarded a train to travel from San Francisco to New York. The journey across the American continent was full of adventure. They saw vast herds of bison that blocked the tracks for hours. More dramatically, their train was attacked by a band of Sioux warriors. During the attack, Passepartout was captured. Fogg did not hesitate. He chose to risk his bet to save his loyal friend, leading a group of soldiers to rescue him. They succeeded, but this brave act made them miss their ship to England. Thinking all was lost, Fogg found a small trading boat heading to France. He bought the boat, locked the captain in his cabin, and set a course for Liverpool, England. They burned parts of the ship for fuel to go faster. They arrived in Liverpool just in time to catch the train to London. But as soon as they stepped on English soil, Detective Fix finally arrested Fogg. He was thrown in jail. It seemed the journey was over, and the bet was lost. A few hours later, a very embarrassed Detective Fix appeared. The real bank robber had been caught 3 days earlier. Fogg was free, but it was too late. He, Passepartout, and Ouda took a train to London, but they arrived at 8:50 p.m., 5 minutes late. He had lost the bet. He went home, financially ruined but calm as always. He spoke with Ouda, who had fallen in love with him. She confessed her feelings and asked if he would marry her. For the first time, Fogg showed deep emotion and said yes, he loved her too. Passepartout was sent to arrange the marriage for the next day, which they believed was a Monday. He ran back into the house moments later, completely out of breath. He explained that tomorrow was not Monday, it was Sunday. By traveling eastward around the world, they had crossed the international date line and gained a full day. They had not arrived 5 minutes late, they had arrived 1 day and 5 minutes early. Fogg realized he still had time. He ran to the Reform Club, bursting through the doors at the last possible second, exactly 8:45 p.m. He had won the bet. Phileas Fogg may be fictional, but his journey was inspired by real advances in technology of the 19th century, like the Suez Canal and the Transcontinental Railroad in America. Interestingly, years after the book was published, an American journalist named Nellie Bly was inspired by the story. In 1889, she decided to try the journey herself and successfully traveled around the world in just 72 days, setting a new world record. This shows how Jules Verne's fiction inspired real-life adventure. He calmly said, "I will bet £20,000, that I can make the tour of the world in 80 days or less." Él dijo con calma, apostaré 20,000 libras, a que puedo dar la vuelta al mundo en 80 días o menos. In a brave and clever rescue, Passepartout saved Ouda. She was incredibly grateful and decided to travel with them. En un valiente e ingenioso rescate, Passepartout salvó a Ouda. Ella estaba increíblemente agradecida y decidió viajar con ellos. By traveling eastward, they had crossed the international date line, and gained a full day. Al viajar hacia el este, habían cruzado la línea internacional de cambio de fecha, y ganado un día entero. Great! Now let's learn some key vocabulary. Our first word is wager. A wager is another word for a bet. It's an agreement to risk money on an unknown result. For example, Phileas Fogg made a wager of £20,000. Next, punctual. To be punctual means to be on time. Phileas Fogg was an extremely punctual man. His entire life was organized to be perfectly on time. Our third word is obstacle. An obstacle is something that blocks your way or prevents progress. Detective Fix was a major obstacle for Phileas Fogg on his journey. Now for our useful expression of the day, at stake. At stake means at risk, or in a position to be lost. In the story, Fogg's fortune and his honor were at stake. You can use it like this: the company's reputation is at stake. It means the reputation is in danger. Excellent work. Now, let's see what you remember. I will ask a question, and you will have a moment to think of the answer. Question 1. How much money did Phileas Fogg bet that he could travel the world in 80 days? The answer is £20,000, which was half of his fortune. Question 2. Why was Detective Fix following Phileas Fogg? The answer is: Fix believed Fogg was the criminal who had robbed the Bank of England. And the final question, number 3, how did Phileas Fogg win the bet at the very end? The answer is: he won because he gained a day by traveling eastward across the international date line. He thought he was late, but he was actually early. Question: how much money did Fogg bet? Answer: he bet £20,000. Pregunta: ¿cuánto dinero apostó Fogg? Respuesta: apostó 20,000 libras. Question: why was Detective Fix following Fogg? Answer: he believed Fogg was a bank robber. Pregunta: ¿por qué el Detective Fix seguía a Fogg? Respuesta: creía que Fogg era un ladrón de bancos. You did a fantastic job today. Practice is the best way to improve your English. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more English stories. And here is a question for you: what was your favorite part of the story? Write your answer in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next adventure.